Welcome to Estrategias Militares. We are live right now. March 26, 2026, Israel takes out the naval commander of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. Yes, I repeat, taken out completely. Even though the world keeps saying that Iran is winning the war, Israel is doing its own thing and keeps sending the entire Revolutionary Guard to hell. Family, today all the details, the ballistic missile attacks, and everything that's happening in Israel right now, your likes, your comments. This is Estrategias Militares. Let's get started. Good afternoon, family. Welcome to Estrategias Militares. We are live right now, no more, no less, with breaking news, huge news, major news about what's happening right now, about what's going on at this very moment. Thank you. I'm going to tell you something. Welcome. Really, welcome to the channel. The naval commander has been taken out. I just can't believe it anymore. What's happening in Iran is incredible. It's incredible what's going on, what's happening. Family, please, your likes, your comments. If you like the content, you know, Estrategias Militares, super chat is also open. I want comments. I want to see everything. And we're going to watch it on video. We're going to watch it on video. The one who's no longer with us, it's like seeing the living dead. I said it the other day. Every chapter of this story where someone appears threatening the state of Israel or threatening the United States of America, they become a zombie because they're one of the living dead. Until their time comes, and the time comes for the naval commander of the entire Revolutionary Guard. The top guy, as our friends in Latin America say, the top guy has been taken out. There's no one left to command the Navy, which doesn't exist, because there were no ships left. There were no ships, only boats remained. There are still boats, but they no longer have a commander. I think he appears in this video also, and we're going to see it here now. On Estrategias Militares, it's an interesting day. They're also launching missiles, which is worth noting. There have been injuries, there have been impacts. Now we're going to watch videos, we're going to talk about everything, we're going to cover everything. Here we see naval missiles, anti-ship missiles, we see ballistic ones, we see everything, radars, air defense systems. Let's see if the boss shows up over there. The main guy has to show up there. There he is. Yes, there he is, look. The one who's talking, look at the image. I mean, look at the magnitude of the image. The one who's talking, that's Bagheri, who was the general commander of the Revolutionary Guard. You know what? He was taken out. He's also dead, also. Faded to black. Yes, yes. Even if they say otherwise, he's dead. He's not coming back. Neither is the Ayatollah, nor the military leadership from the 42nds, neither. No. We could call it the 40 seconds operation, an early elimination, because they only lasted 40 seconds. Well, the one on the right, also dressed in camouflage, is also dead. Also, the naval commander. And they're dropping like flies, one by one, every last one of them. Alireza Tansiri, eliminated in Bandar Abbas. Let's put a photo here. So you can see it. Well, it's on the cover, blacked out, there it is. Nothing more, nothing less. The base you see here is also blacked out, and the ships you see are blacked out too. They've turned off all their lights, and there are no ships anymore. There is no military base anymore. But be careful, be careful, be careful, because Iran is winning the war, Iran is winning the war. Welcome, family. For those of you who are joining now, good afternoon. It's 3:51 in the afternoon after lunch. Don't take a nap. Stay here with us because this is like a waking dream. Eliminating these high-ranking officials is a major blow to Iran's military structure. They are irreplaceable. They are the people who have the knowledge. They are the people who hold the keys to the Ark of Terror. They are the chiefs. They are the ones who know the most about all of this. They are the ones who lead the operations, the ones who lead the people, sending them to their deaths. And this is in relation to the Strait of Hormuz. Do you want to keep the strait closed? Well, then we eliminate the commander. The commander's eliminated. You keep the strait closed, we'll eliminate the next commander you put in, and so on until you get the message. Interestingly, the one who did this job was Israel. By the way, we have images of what the building looks like. It's clearly Israeli handiwork, made in Israel. It's perfectly clear. But before we see that part, let's see Bibi, let's see Israel. Cat, because of course, when they gave this news, it was like an earthquake on an international level. Now, every press conference by Israel Cat, you have to dress for a funeral. Every time Israel Cat appears lately, it's to announce that they've taken someone out. There he is.
I want to express my condolences for the loss of First Sergeant Yuri Grinberg. May his memory be a blessing, who fought bravely together with his comrades to bring security to the residents of the North. Thank you to my family and my friends. Thank you.
It must be sad, for all of you listening who are fanboys of Iran and these terrorist groups, it must be really tough, that every week you have to learn the new name of the new commander or the new general. And yet, in Israel, we always see the same people sitting there, and they're alive. All of them are alive. Not a single one has died, not even the one who brings them coffee to the meeting room has died. However, in Iran, every week they have to print new photos with new guys. The people who make uniforms must be making a fortune, replacing the uniforms of commanders, generals, major generals. All these people getting killed. It's a real business. For the people at Temu who make the uniforms for Iran, they must be making a fortune. They probably ordered in batches of 100 uniforms for each rank. Because it's incredible, 5 or 6 times the top military officers, the high command, have already been eliminated in Iran and in Israel. No, not even one.
The night at the Chamber of Deputies with a precise and businesslike activity. The director of the National Force of the Mesklada region, Tango Asiri.
Look at how he stares directly at the camera that's to the right of Israel Katz. He's sending you a message with his eyes.
He was directly responsible for the terrorist act of mining and blocking the Strait of Hormuz to shipping. He blew it up and was an agent. This is a direct warning to all top members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guards terrorist group.
Wow, they're really staring at you, man. You go look at the frame. Excuse me, I'm already starting to laugh. I've been really jokey lately. Look, forget about Israel Cat. Look, the one on the right.
He and Sud, look.
He keeps eye contact with you like, I challenge you? Amazing. What is he saying? For those of us who don't know Hebrew, it's more complicated, right? Translation? The Israeli Defense Forces thwarted the plans of the commander of the Revolutionary Guard Navy, directly responsible for the terrorist act of mining and blocking the Strait of Hormuz to shipping. This is a clear message, very clear, crystal clear. Well, this is a black message actually, because it's a fade to black, but a clear message. For whom? For all the high-ranking officials of the Revolutionary Guard. The IDF will hunt them down and neutralize them one by one. Well, that's it. The party begins. By the way, I want to make it clear, we do not promote any kind of military activity. We just report the news in a different way. We add our own analysis and impressions. With this, we hope for peace in the world, that this channel will disappear someday, and there will be no need to talk about wars anymore. We'll talk about migration, about the whale shark, Climate change and extraterrestrials. Listen up, folks. Exclusive footage. Where was the naval commander? Well, that's how it turned out. That's how the building ended up. Fade to black. I think it's gonna take them a while to find the body, probably about a couple of weeks until they take apart the whole structure. And well, we also see collateral damage, but the building next door was under construction. I think the one on the left must be, or seems to be, a hotel. Those who have booked a room in that hotel have seen everything from a perfect vantage point right up front. The building there is completely destroyed. Also, something's bothering me. There's a frame in this image that bothers me. There is a frame there. A Star of David is painted there, but it's still not fully visible in the video. It could possibly be the mark of the Mossad. But be careful, because we have Arachi. Look at what Arachi says. I want to emphasize that this imposed war, this Ramadan war, which has already gone beyond Ramadan, and what's left, apply oil sproudo.
Amazon action, which is now beyond Amazon.
It's also up to the hook. This war is going to reach the hook. And it continues up to this point, about 26 days later.
Up to this point, 26 days later.
It has become a golden and glorious moment. Especially for funeral homes in Iran. If we had known that things were going to be this tough, we would have opened a funeral home in Iran. With group discounts.
It's a starting point and a source of pride in
the thousands of years of Iran's history, in the thousands of years of Iran's history,
miles de años de historia de Irán.
If the revolution, which has lasted 40 years or 47 years, had lasted 1,000 years.
Year 2000, it changed. Maybe not at this moment.
Maybe this has been unprecedented. I don't think in all of history we will see what. Well, there are many things that have been unprecedented in this war. Any nation has resisted for almost a month against what seemed to be the world's greatest power. Well, then they should ask the Jews about the Egyptians, the Romans, and the Persians, with everyone who has tried to exterminate them. Hitler tried to exterminate them. But anyway, drop it, drop it. Has any nation ever resisted nearly a month against what seemed the world's greatest power?
Any against what seemed to be the world's greatest power?
Against the best, the supposedly greatest army in the world?
Thank you.
The regional army claims to hold the greatest power.
Most of the soldiers are from the regional army.
The power, thank you.
Watch video.
Both armed with the latest military technology, thank you. Resisting them means preventing them from achieving all their objectives. Fortunately, they are being stopped from completing most of their objectives.
Preventing fewer objectives that they are being prevented from achieving.
This is truly a reason for pride for all of humanity. For all of humanity, it is a source of pride.
For all of humanity.
Look, but this is the NATO one. This is the one. Do you remember this woman? It can be. It can be. Let's see, where's the video? Iran. Let's see, where's the video? One second, this is NATO's, the one who ran off in the middle of it. It almost fades to black, huh? It almost fades to black. What minute are we at here? We're at 110? 17? Let's take a break. 17? Remember, I'm going to write it down here. Minute 107. It's her. It's her. She's alive. I love it when she does that with her hands, inward swish, swish, swish. Then in the afternoon, she appeared again. There's a second video that you have to look for carefully. In the afternoon, she appeared again, and she was much calmer. She wasn't moving her hands anymore. She was sitting, and she didn't move away from the camera. Well, she's back. I'm glad the woman is okay, huh? I'm glad she's okay. Minute 107. Where are we? 107, 107. Where are we? Ah, yes, we're around here.
It's a source of pride
For all of humanity,
for all of humanity.
she's saying, oh my God, they're launching the missile again. She's rolling her eyes, saying, end it already, end it, cut, cut, cut time. Like Iran and all Iranians. Well, actually, yes, Arachi is right about something. Honestly, yes. This is a unique case in thousands of years. It's an incredible moment that after 26 days of war, they took out the Ayatollah in 40 seconds. On the first day, the entire military leadership, all the commanders, that you no longer have a navy, that you don't have planes for the Air Force, that there are no portable anti-aircraft defenses preventing Israeli and US planes from flying over Iran, that your command and control centers are destroyed, that the main bunker is destroyed. The truth is that it really is a historic milestone, that in less than a year you have lost your entire military leadership 5 times. No army in history had ever gone through that since the 12 Days War. Something like that had never happened in history. That all the commanders, generals, chiefs, and ministers have died. I don't know. I don't know what world they live in. I don't understand it. What world do these people live in? Do they live in Narnia or somewhere like that? Is there some kind of special syndrome, still undetected by scientists, that makes them unable to see reality? But they're winning. Don't worry. Be careful. They're winning. By the way, Donald Trump has said that the people he's negotiating with, he hasn't said who yet. He still hasn't said it. They fear for their lives because they say they could be taken out if the others find out. And this is what I said yesterday, see? This confirms that what Donald Trump has done is create discord among them. They look at each other and say, who's the traitor? They're crazy. They're crazy. Right now, they're going insane. Vivi? We keep hitting hard. Vivi is not dead. Vivi, the terrorist targets of the regime in Iran. Vivi. The other night, last night, we eliminated Commander Vivi of the Revolutionary Guard. For the Navy, first they leave them without ships and then without a commander.
First, Vivi was in a very bad way.
Vivi, things are done backwards. Commander first, then ships. But the order doesn't affect the outcome. Look.
Partner, the daughter, that man.
That man had a big deal.
There is a lot of blood
on his hands.
And besides, he's the one who did that.
He was also one of those who led the situation in Hormuz, the closure of the Strait of Hormuz. This is another example of cooperation between the United States.
Between us and our friends, the United States.
Our friends in the United States.
For a
common goal to achieve the objectives of the war.
Thank you.
Tremendous. Really incredible. Thank you. We'll have to check. Did he show his hands? If those aren't Bibi's hands, wait, you can see 2 little fingers there. 2 of Bibi's little fingers. He's missing fingers, not nails. How are the nails? Let's see if it's the guide. The guide too. Let's see if it's artificial intelligence. Tremendous. What madness. Oh my goodness. Now they're even sending us videos in 4K. I don't know what exploded there, but something went up into space. There's an object going up into space. Look at the top part. Look at the explosion. All right. Now something is going to go up there. Something black has come out of the ground. Who blew up Lebanon? Things are happening over there. Things are happening over there. Now we're going to talk about that. Now we're going to discuss it. Welcome, family. Military strategies. We are live and very direct. By the way, if you haven't seen it, the movie of the week premiered yesterday. Today it's being re-released. Pedro Jones in search of the lost missile. This afternoon we have a reaction from Pedro Jones. And the lost missile. The controversy and attacks persist. They keep saying the video is a lie. That's what they're telling us, that the video is a lie. And a message from Iran to the United States of America, to the 82nd Airborne Division, to the Navy SEALs, and to Delta. They are waiting for you. They are waiting for you. Well, you won't see this image anymore because they don't have planes anymore. There are no more planes. Let's see what else they have. I haven't watched the whole video. This is a live reaction. Let's see what the propaganda is like. There are no helicopters either. I don't know how they plan to do this. Oh my, this photo, well, this frame, Navy SEAL mode. Oh my. The Green Berets, watch out, huh? Phew. Tremendous. Wow, what a great video, huh? From the Iranians. I think the Delta guys are really worried about this. They're extremely worried. I think they've cancelled the ground operation after this. It's been cancelled, all right? Video of the week, F-18 jet dodging a missile. By the way, the family exiled from Mexico to Canada says the plane was on fire. Let's watch it and see if the F-18 is on fire. Video from Al Mayadeen. F-18 Chabahar destroying small boats with the machine gun. Now, it starts to ascend, turning. Wow. There are a few meters between the missile and the plane. Exiled family. Don't lie, the plane isn't on fire, the plane is still flying, the plane came back home. Don't lie. I know it's expensive to pay for the Cadillac's tires, but don't lie, please. No F-18 has been shot down. They fired a heat-seeking missile at him. They didn't even deploy the flares. The pilot made a sharp turn and shook it off. Did the maneuver work out for him? It was close too. Yeah, it was really close, but that's war. That's war. The pilot, who probably didn't have any ammunition left to fire, saw that there was still more of the target left. He used the machine gun, had to fly lower, and put himself within range of the man-pads. Which also means he's carrying empty pylons. That plane is already out of air-to-ground ammunition. It's already unloaded, because you can see it doesn't have any missiles on the pylons. Does this mean there's still a risk from portable anti-aircraft weapons? But the thing is, the United States and Israel aren't flying at those altitudes. Normally, we've only seen it in 2 videos, in attacks with machine guns, just 2 videos. We haven't seen more than that. There was an attempt to shoot down an F-35. It was damaged, but it returned to base. They've tried with an F-15, which, when it releases flares, the missile veers off. This one, for example, didn't release any flares. It didn't launch them. And it failed. Something else might have happened. Something else could have happened, but I need to investigate thoroughly. Maybe we're missing something, so we have to look into it. But obviously the missile doesn't hit it, because the missile, also when it gets close, it projects all the shrapnel and the explosion forward, not so much to the sides. And the plane, even though we see it as very close or overlapping in the image, there is a distance between them. That tight turn made it so the missile couldn't maneuver to hit it. Been a last-minute turn. The pilot probably didn't even notice it if he was looking at it. Maybe from behind, he probably didn't even notice. But it's an F-18 from the Lincoln. And that's it. There it is. The plane keeps going, heading to its destination. It hasn't been shot down. When you see those kinds of headlines, please report them for misinformation. Report them for misinformation, because they're spreading misinformation and it's not true. So they're creating content that's false. Let's see. Next video. Yes, this, interesting, this. Look at what's coming. They were saying. They also said that Israel and the United States only had enough ammunition for 10 days of war. Land. Let's take a look at it. New arrival at Ben Gurion. Palletized. The palletized ammunition. Llegando. Ahí puede haber de todo. Casi todo. Bombas de caída libre. The size of the boxes. This was the other day when it was raining. Supposedly, the war should have ended 16 days ago. Well, it still hasn't ended. Let's continue. This happened today. Missiles falling. Today we've already had, I think it's 8 or 9 hours of attacks from Iran on Israel. More ballistic missiles falling, cluster munitions. Against what? Against civilian targets? That means Israel is attacking military targets. Iran attacks civilian targets. Who wants to destroy whom? If Israel wanted to, it could start dropping bombs on buildings and massacre the Iranian people. We haven't seen those scenes there of 500 people dead, 300, 400, 100, an entire building with 100,000 people inside. It has nothing to do with it. I still don't understand how there are media outlets that like to twist history. Pedro, the kids are taking it. The missile, don't look for it. They've taken it for a walk. The missile. Don't look for the missile, Pedro. We'll let you know when you can come pick it up. Next video. More videos of the missiles with stickers, the ones they say are fake. Well, here we see again another video with new stickers placed on them. to be launched against Israel. But then they say there's no reference that says the missile from the school that fell there, the part of the missile that fell there, the piece of the missile is the one from Pedro Sanchez. But some people from certain media outlets still haven't figured it out. That when Iran launches a wave of missiles, they make a video of that wave of missiles. They put the sticker on, they put the writing on it, and they launch it. By the way, I think an attack is coming, right? Can we leave the shelters now? Let's watch this latest attack. Against central Israel, just a few seconds ago, there was an attack. That's what I mean. That's why we know that this missile matches. Also, with the type of missile that was launched in the video, it's Pedro Sanchez's video. It's Pedro's missile. But the media, they try to camouflage it a bit and dress it up. Yes, there are attacks happening. Let's review the latest report we received. And what has happened there, let's check information in real time. What's happening right now? What's going on? Let's see if there are any injured or what we have. Let's also look for the latest videos from this last wave of attacks. We have videos, we already have information, updates. It's interesting as well. Hezbollah is making a lot of progress. Let's see this. Let's see what we have here. This camera looks terrible. Can't see much here. Let's try this camera. Ah, yes, look, follow the photographs. Now we see a photo of American soldiers entering Iran and leaving Iran in coffins. There we see them placing by hand on those missiles, which, by the way, the missiles are not very well made. Look at the riveting they have with that gap in the middle. They're not properly sealed. That causes problems. Then many of them get destroyed. This missile we see here is the Khaybar. It's a Khaybar Sekam. That's a Gator. That's the cluster one. The Khaybar uses a conventional warhead. Another wave, which will correspond to the time when the video is published, within minutes. Well, they edit the video for you, they leak it on social media, right? We see something curious in this video, beyond what we're watching. I have the feeling that what you see up there in the sky, those kinds of blurred chemtrails, are trails from planes that have passed by. I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I have a suspicion. There's heavy air traffic in areas where missiles are launched. It's the same old story, the same old story. What's the story? It's that they clear the doorway of the bunker and go out to launch missiles. Hezbollah, what happened with Hezbollah? Well, they have another propaganda video. March 22nd. We're getting these dates a little late, but it's interesting. Look at this. This is not Alma's. This is a drone, or something new. We have Merkava tanks. We have a Namera, this one we see here, which is a troop transport, which is the chassis of a Merkava, but without a combat turret. But notice one detail, there's the Merkava tank. First they see it, the Merkava, they say Merkava, we don't shoot at it, let's go for the Namera. Yes, they also shoot at the Merkava. All right, there's a detail you never see. There's an explosion, there's an attack, that's undeniable, but what you never see is the tank being destroyed. Why? Because you can't see it, it's not destroyed. Don't be fooled by the image, look here. How it approaches. to Namera and look there in that frame. That thing we see there? All right, that thing we're seeing there is part of the trophy system, an active protection system. When it detects the presence of a missile or a drone coming toward the tank, it opens up, fires a projectile, and destroys it, which makes it very unlikely that there will be a direct hit. In this sequence, it's very unlikely because it's going straight toward the trophy, also. And this one we see here at the Merkava, more of the same. They launch it, they start to move a little to the side, they want to hit the turret, the top part. In fact, they even aim badly because what they want to do is not destroy it, but disable it. So that it can't fire with the cannon. Then maybe they set up an ambush on land. It could be. Maybe that impact disables the cannon. But again, the last frame you see is still very far away, still at a distance from the tank. You can see it because the trophy system activates. They cut the frame there and you can see it doesn't hit. It's very unlikely that those videos show a significant hit. Very unlikely. I mean it. Very unlikely. By the way, the remains of the KC-135 that crashed in Iraq have been found. This was found the other day. We continue in the mountains of Iran. Another underground site that's attacked. Another one. There we see it. I'm gonna share something I'm working on. I just want to give you a few details because otherwise we'll give it away. I'm trying everything I can to get someone to come. An expert in something very specific to explain to us how building an underground site works. Bunkers. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be amazed by what we're preparing here at Estrategias Militares. A program that's going to be 100% documentary so the whole community can understand what this story is about. More attacks in Iran. That's how it turned out. They're picking up some remains there on the ground. We don't know what the remains are from. We don't know if they're from the naval commander or United States. Wow. Secondary explosions, fire. Launchers, drones, and the drone was also started. No, it wasn't started. Laser guided. They could be Hellfire missiles. Price is about $300,000 per missile. That's a significant expense. More videos. Well, we had already seen this one. Let's watch this one. Israel Chow. Phew, really tough, really tough. Israel, super tough with this. In Lebanon, there is no truce at all. There won't be another truce. And things are going to get ugly. They're going to get pretty ugly. More details. Talking about Lebanon. I want to show you this photograph that you're about to see, and it's striking. We're live, folks. If you like the content, please give it a like. First live stream of the day, a summary, a mix of what's happening, of what's going on. Israel Defense Forces photograph. The Israel Defense Forces report recommend and urge the civilian population to do something. What is it? that they stay away from Pedro Jones's friends. That's the first and most important thing, but also that they abandon an entire area of Lebanon. Urgent warning for southern Lebanon residents. Hezbollah's terrorist activity forces the IDF to act firmly against it, especially in your area. The IDF has no intention of harming you for your safety. We urge all residents located south of the Zerani River, as shown on the map, to evacuate their homes immediately. Anyone who is near Hezbollah members, facilities, or combat equipment is putting their life in danger. Any building used by Hezbollah for military purposes could become a target. Oh, people of southern Lebanon, you must immediately move north of the Zerani River. What a sight, what a sight.
Well, 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 well.
Quickly, because we'll have to talk about this tonight. Relax. Southern border of Lebanon, northern Israel. The line we see marked Litani River. This one we see over here. Is that groove we can see here, the green area? Well, Zerani River. This.
Es decir,
Opens up 15 kilometers further. Between the Litani and the Zerani, 15 kilometers, and from the Litani to the border, 26 kilometers. 40 kilometers. Are the IDF going to open fire? Come on, I think that's absolutely crazy. 41 kilometers, a 40-kilometer breach inside Lebanon. But of course it makes sense. Why? It makes sense because Metula is on the bank of the Litani River. Do you still have the problem? You have to go all the way to the Zerani River and cut through this area to keep Metula out of danger. Which, by the way, the IDF is entering through this area. They're going to capture this whole area and then move on to the esplanade. I meant toward Tyre. I'm going to draw it here so you can see. Give me a second, I'll draw it quickly. They're going to surround Tyre. Thank you. Israel has already advanced. This whole flank here is moving in this direction. Hezbollah knows this. It's not a secret. In fact, this has been going on for days. They've already taken this area. Nabatea is already taken. And they keep advancing, and they're going to advance all the way to this Zerani that we see here. What's the plan to get Hezbollah out of there quickly? The idea is from Nabatea to go up here and start pushing to the left, to the west, to prevent reinforcements from reaching Hezbollah, but also so that the Hezbollah members have to leave. That's exactly what we're seeing. They're pushing to create a sort of pincer movement. For Hezbollah to say, they'll trap and massacre us here, so we need to leave with the troops and head north. That's what they're playing at. That's Israel's strategy. By the way, Pedro Sanchez said today, there's a video around here. We've already prepared it. Let's see. Imaginary assistant, is Peter's video around here? It's around here. Pedro has said that Israel is committing resort of... And me? It's the first time I see a genocide where the perpetrator tells the civilian population to leave the area for their own safety. It's the first time, no sé. These things confuse me a bit, but it's the first time we've seen something like this in history. We'll have to study this. This kind of genocide is a bit strange on Spanish television, saying that they want to annex. I think we have the video saved somewhere. That they want to annex. Lebanese territory like Israel has no expenses, no public spending. Is it going to take care of the population of southern Lebanon? Does Israel have so much money to spare? Right now, it has nothing else to do but occupy this whole area with the intention of keeping it, so that all the Arabs who live here also become part of the state of Israel. These are things that are so difficult to understand for someone, but at the same time so easy to understand. What Israel wants is to create first a very important security zone for its defense, so that there are no more drone or anti-tank missile launches. Alright, that line you see is what Israel wants to create, a kind of imaginary wall for its peace of mind. When the area is cleared, after a few months of searching, once the facilities have been searched, there are no remnants of Hezbollah, the whole area has been disarmed, the whole area has been pacified with the help of the United Nations and the government of Lebanon. Whoever wants to join this effort, it will be possible to start reopening so that civilians can return home. And they can live in peace without Hezbollah holding Christian and Druze populations hostage with tunnels under their homes. It's a military security operation that has no intention. I really don't think Israel, honestly, I don't think Israel intends to take over that territory. First, because they don't need it, and second, it's a territory that could be problematic for Israel when it comes to defending it, when it comes to maintaining it. With so many valleys, so many things, they're not interested. Israel doesn't want to lose lives in this war. What they want is to save lives. But it's true, the city of Tyre, I think it will disappear for a few months, and the civilian population will have to leave. There are going to be very intense battles in this area. This area is going to be a zone of heavy fighting. But Israel has the Navy, with the protection of the Navy, which can fire spike missiles and heavy artillery fire into this area. The coastal area can be swept all the way inland with pretty good firepower. A lot of personnel will be needed, more than the divisions currently deployed. I think there are 4 in total right now, 40,000 from 40,000 to 50,000. I think we will have to go up to 100,000 plus another 50,000 to 100,000. That is 150,000 for this entire operation. If you want to do it quickly, if you want to go slower, well, you reduce that number of troops, but you will always have to keep a reserve to establish security points in all these territories where there will be isolated pockets of Hezbollah, so you have to watch your rear very carefully. You really have to watch it. IEDs, which are improvised bombs that are buried or placed on the sides of the road to attack convoys and military personnel. And that's something you really have to keep in mind. It's super important. So we hope the operation goes as well as possible, that there are as few civilian casualties as possible, and may the best side win. Good luck. Good luck. What did Donald Trump say? There was a press conference by POTUS. Thank you. The General Staff, POTUS with the chiefs, POTUS, very POTUS. We're going to start watching videos of POTUS now. Family, welcome to Military Strategies. We're live right now, 21,000 people. We're missing a lot of likes. Family, where are you joining us from? What time is it in your country? I want to see everything. I want to know it all. Thank you so much for the kind emails. Thank you very much, really. A person has died at the age of 30 due to rocket attacks by Hezbollah in the northwest of Israel. We have to mourn another civilian victim who died and 3 more injured while they were in a parking lot. So we have to see it. Excuse me for a moment. Excuse me for a moment. All right, here we are, family. Here we are. We have to mourn the loss of a human being, unfortunately, just as we also mourn the loss of human beings, of civilians, 100%. There's absolutely no difference. We see this around here. Let's take a look at it.
of the shots, probably, and we've probably hit about 90% of the shots.
90% of the missile launchers are destroyed.
Probably more than 90% of the observed missiles, between some that were fired and others that he mentions.
This way.
90% of the missiles observed, between some they fired and more than they fired, we know.
He says, many of those that haven't fired, we've destroyed. And if any do fire, we destroy them.
And we.
But they keep firing. It's a reality. They keep firing missiles. They still have launchers. Despite what Donald Trump says about 90% and nonsense like that, they still have missiles. I don't agree with him on that. Iran still has a limited strike capability, but they have it, and we're seeing it, and it also causes damage. It causes problems. No. What does he say about the negotiations? What does Donald Trump say about negotiations? Let's take a look over here.
And only a total. And they're not fools. They're very smart, actually, in a certain way, and they're great negotiators. I say they're lousy fighters, but they're great negotiators.
He says they're lousy at fighting, but excellent negotiators. They're eager to reach an agreement. They're in agreement.
They are begging to.
They are begging. They are working out.
A deal.
To move a deal forward.
I don't know if we'll be able to do that. I don't know if
we'll be in a position to do it.
Willing to do that.
He says, I don't know if they can do it.
Should have done that 4 weeks ago. They should have done it.
He says they could have done it 4 weeks ago.
2 years ago.
They could have done it 2 years ago.
Should have done it when we took office because.
He says they could have done it when we took office.
2 years ago, they had free reign under Biden. Sleepy Joe.
He says 2 years with Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe Biden.
Worst president in the history of our country.
He says the worst president in the history of our country.
When he let that happen to our country at the border. And even with something like this, but not just him, every president for 47 years.
He says all the presidents over the last 47 years.
The president should have done this. They
should have done this.
Had done it a long time ago.
He says this should have been done a long time ago.
Because you cannot give lunatics a nuclear weapon.
He says because you can't give lunatics nuclear weapons.
And they would have had a big one.
He says if not, they'll have a big one.
It stopped really when we did the B-2, but even before that.
He says this stopped when we did the B-2 thing.
But Barack Hussein Obama, what he did where he gave them the Iran nuclear deal, gave them...
He says, but the nuclear deal that Obama gave them...
Free will toward a nuclear weapon. Basically, he chose Iran over Israel and others.
He says, basically what Obama preferred was Iran over Israel and other allies. Right, missiles on the way. 1 second, missiles are coming. Missiles from Iran. Asoto. Missiles are coming from Iran. Let's set up cameras. Let's also set up some things. Let's see what's going on over there. 1 second, family. We're bringing up the live feed from Israel. Let's watch it. By the way, today's a big day. Nicolas Maduro is going to court. First day of trial. We'll see this later on. How is No War, Yes Peace doing? We'll see this. Poor Maduro. We barely talk about him anymore. Not anymore. This always happens. Every star has their high point and their low point. And Maduro is already in a difficult phase. Come on, let's see. I think there are 7 minutes left. Well, make that 5 minutes for those missiles. Let's check it here. 5 minutes. Correct. 5 minutes. We have the multicam ready, right? There it is, multicam. We're going to watch it now. Don't worry, we'll keep monitoring it. But in the meantime, let's continue with POTUS. Let's turn to POTUS.
They didn't want to do it. But I finished that deal. If I hadn't finished that deal, you would have had a new asset.
He says this is the fault of Obama, Joe Biden, and previous presidents who should have acted. They are begging for a deal, they say. It's not me who's begging, it's them. Goodbye. And look at what he says. Look at what they say. This is tremendous.
And I think we've been cautious. You know, they took a missile. It went 2,500 miles. Supposedly they didn't have a missile like that.
He says, this confirms to me that we were right, because look.
And I think we've been cautious. You know, they took a minute, 2 minutes.
He says, they fired a missile 4,000 kilometers, 2,500 miles.
Supposedly they didn't have a missile.
They weren't supposed to have these missiles. Look at Pitt's Secretary of War's face.
They didn't have a missile with that capability.
He says they denied having missiles with that long-range capability.
But they fired at the now famous island, the island that the United Kingdom claims.
But they fired at an island belonging to the United Kingdom.
That the United Kingdom was very afraid to give us.
That the United Kingdom is very... The use of afraid here is that the United Kingdom is very reluctant to give us, doesn't want to give us. He's talking about Diego Garcia Island. Didn't
want to get dragged in.
If he doesn't want to reach an agreement...
We don't want to get dragged into their wars. Either one thing, we're very disappointed. I'll say it publicly.
He says, we are very disappointed with this.
We're very disappointed with NATO.
We're very disappointed with NATO.
And
disappointed with NATO. 3 minutes to the missile. 3 minutes to the missile. Let's start searching the areas now, thank you. Where is that missile going to land? People near the shelters, I think it's the Ashdod area, central Israel. Let's see how far this missile will go. Hopefully it will be intercepted. Please, everyone, you need to go to the shelters. You need to take the necessary safety measures. Please, it's super important. Thank you. Let's see. I have it open somewhere. The alarms. They're ready somewhere. Let's see what happens. Stay calm, okay? Let's listen to the audio. 1 minute. One minute. Families, if you're live with us, your likes and comments are super important. Subscribe if you haven't already. Come on, we're on our way to 500,000. One minute. The targets of the attack haven't appeared yet. They still haven't appeared. It's strange that they still haven't appeared, huh? All right. Maybe the missile was launched from further away. Thanks. This is very suspicious, huh? Or maybe they shot it down. Very strange. The targets aren't showing up. There's been an early warning, but the targets aren't showing up. Now, there they are. Central Israel, Asdod, Yavne, Modin, Holon, Rishon LeZion, Lod, Jaffa, Gush Dan, let's take off the alarm map and look at the images. Lower cameras. Camera 3, central lower temporary camera. Alarms. Alarms right now, family.
צבע אדום, צבע אדום, צבע אדום.
Alarms right now, family. This attack is strange because it's taking longer than usual, which to me could indicate that they launched from the west. Let's look at some images. Camera 3. Temporary camera. Now, above, where it says multi-camera, you can see the path of an interceptor. At least one interceptor missile has launched. Very strange. This attack is very strange. You don't hear any booms, huh? You don't hear the booms? For now, we have no information. We're searching and updates will come in gradually. Please stay calm. Images will arrive soon. Images of what's happening, what's going on, will start to come in. Sirens. Today, a very active day with missiles. They've obviously taken out the naval commander. The way Iran responds, well, you know how it is. It's like a wounded animal with no way out. They tried to attack with what they have. Let's continue with POTUS. What did he say?
That we have acted properly. You know, they took a minute, 2 minutes.
I mean, they are acknowledging that they have missiles with a range of 4,000 kilometers. By the way, Spain is going to deploy a Patriot system in 2029 in the Strait of Gibraltar. In 2029, we don't know if they expect us to be attacked by 2029. Maybe they won't attack us before then. Since Pedro Sanchez knows them, Pedro, who is the best at finding missiles, Pedro Jones is going to deploy a Patriot battery in Spain. Let's see which model it is. We hope it's the PAC-3. Because if it's the one we have, it's useless against Pedro Jones's missiles. In Search of the Lost Missile. Don't miss it in the best theaters. Pedro Jones in Search of the Lost Missile. It's amazing. Today, the cuties have made a statement a few minutes ago. Cuties, a statement from the cuties. Who else has spoken? Who? Well, the one who spoke just now is Pete. The warlord, what did he say? Well, this news is important.
As I said yesterday, the Department of War will continue negotiating with bombs.
The Department of War is going to continue negotiating with bombs.
War is negotiation by other means.
He says, using bombs is still negotiating. In other ways, it's another way of negotiating with bombs. What awaits Iran is goodbye, Pedro. Now we go back to you, he says. You have to put Pedro Jones on every 10 minutes, otherwise the poor guy feels helpless. As for him, we're not going to give Iran a 5-day truce without bombing. No, we're going to keep bombing. Let them decide if they want to sign. If not, we keep going. Today they've took out the head of the Navy. No more, no less, no more, no less. This is good news you'll see next. A plane is already operating in Iran too.
Now, you mentioned it, Mr. President. 8 Warthogs, if you know them, you love them.
He says, 10 planes.
And A-10 planes, Apache helicopter gunships are flying missile attacks inside the Iranian airport.
They are carrying out attack missions inside Iranian airspace. Look at Trump's face when they tell him about the A-10 Warthogs.
If you know it, you love it.
He says, if you know them, you love them.
They laugh. Helicopter gunships are flying strike missions inside Iranian airspace and throughout the Strait of Hormuz at will.
And are they going to operate in the Strait of Hormuz? The A-10S are going to be used to destroy whatever naval infrastructure Iran has left. I'm picturing an A-10 seeing one of those little boats motoring around out there and the machine gun firing. They need to order an evacuation for the fish. They should put a big net in the Strait of Hormuz to keep fish out, because what is this going to turn into? The Greenpeace people are going to go crazy? Thank you. I can't believe it. Also, who arrived today? Saudi Arabia? Look, who arrived today? One of the guys who knows the most about drones and Iranian drones.
Let's meet again. It's great seeing you. Yes, no, yes.
You are...
Yes, what? What's going on?
What?
What?
What's going on?
Zelensky. Is she being absurd? He is going to share military experts with the Saudis as well. He has already done it with the Emiratis, with the Kuwaitis. Sorry, now he is going to do it with the Saudis. You should also look into their role and key point. Thank you. Look for it, their moment. Witkoff. What does Witkoff say about the famous meeting about the 11 nuclear bombs? Let's take a look.
From them.
The Iranians have the inalienable right to enrich uranium.
Then we heard that they had enough material, 60% enriched.
We have heard that uranium enrichment is at 60%. 460 kilograms is what they have.
To make 11 atomic bombs.
They can make 11 atomic bombs.
Finally, we have heard the following
statement. And finally, we heard this statement.
They would not give up diplomatically.
They are not going to give it up through diplomacy. They are not going to hand it over.
Well, we could not win militarily.
Because we can't win militarily.
In other words, again, they miscalculated.
In other words, they have miscalculated
the success of Midnight Hammer, which was a success.
Of the success of Operation Midnight Hammer.
These are incontrovertible signs among many other signs, sir.
He says, this is one of the signs among many others. Is Witkoff referring to the negotiations not working out, not going well? And it's normal, it's logical. Folks in the Gustum area can already leave the shelters. Let's search for videos. We already have several videos of the missile. Family, breaking. Breaking news, right now we have videos. intercepted missile. Or not, let's take a look. We're getting the videos ready. A single missile, just one, a single missile launched against Israel.
Let's do it. There's the missile.
It looks like it was intercepted. Missile intercepted. But there is debris.
Let me see it, thank you.
What the hell is that? A wheel? No, it's not a wheel, just kidding. What you're seeing there is very interesting. I'm going to bring it closer and I'll bring it closer so you can see better. This part is the connecting ring between sections of the missile. What you're seeing there is made of fiberglass.
I'm fine, thank you. Made of fiberglass.
This is fiberglass.
This.
It's made of fiberglass. Do you see how there are areas where it's peeled like this?
Thank you.
This is fiberglass, not metal. What you see is fiberglass. That's how they cut costs. It weighs less, and it has some resistance to heat.
It works well for them. It's good for them.
That way. The Houthis. What have the Houthis said? Peace? We will enter into the conflict if necessary. Pay attention to this. About the famous gift that nobody knows about.
I told you about a present, right?
I've told you about a gift, right?
Steve, I can reveal the gift.
Steve, I can reveal the gift.
You can do anything you... He says.
You can do whatever you want, sir.
They said to show you, I told you.
What is the gift? What is the gift? We don't know yet. Well, look at this. Look at this news story. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps reduce the age to enlist in combat operations at 12 years old. Now, Iran is going to recruit 12-year-old children to fight in the future. The next generation of terrorists starts at 12 years old. We're live, family, on Estrategias Militares, telling you what no one else is saying, what no one talks about. Now they're going to take in 12-year-old kids so they can become child soldiers. Trump says he will soon announce a new deadline for Iran. Trump. I'm not desperate to reach a deal with Iran, quite the opposite. We have other objectives in Iran that we want to achieve before we leave. What is that objective? What are you looking for? They are the same objectives as Israel. They are the same that humanity needs. What does Trump want from Iran? Oil, gas, land, deposits, freedom. What do they want? Great day today, family. A big day with a lot happening right now. We have breaking news. We have breaking news from the Embassy of Spain, from the Embassy of Iran in Spain. Embassy of Iran in Spain. Pedro Jones's friends? What do Pedro's friends say?
This is history's greatest shame. I can't believe it.
The thing is, Iran considers Spain a country committed to international law, so it is receptive to any request coming from Madrid. I can't believe it. A normal country
Would have already expelled the ambassador of Iran. Oh my, Pedrito. What a humiliation. What a real humiliation. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I'm just thinking, how is it possible? How is it possible that we've come to this? And how far? More? France, breaking news. Breaking. France is going to have a video call with 35 countries around the world to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Well, so we have exclusive bombshell, which is the gift he gave her.
Iran to Donald Trump. We have very substantial talks going on with respect to Iraq.
We are having conversations with very respectable people inside Iran. Family, 22,000 people. We're missing likes, we're missing super chats, we're missing everything, but we have the gift. What's the gift?
With the right people.
We're talking to the right people.
Remember I mentioned a present?
He says, I've told you about the present, right? What could it be, family? What could it be?
Steve, I'm revealing the present.
Can I reveal the present, Steve? You can do whatever you want, thank you, says POTUS.
They said to show you the fact that we're real.
He says, to prove to you that we are real, that this is real, the negotiation.
And solid.
And solid.
And we're there.
And we are there.
We're going to let you have 8 ships of oil, 8 ships.
We're going to let you have 8 oil tankers.
Big boats of oil.
Big oil tankers.
2 days ago.
Hace 2 días.
And they'll sail up tomorrow. That was 3 days ago.
They sold them and will sell them tomorrow.
And I didn't think much about it, and then I saw the news, and they said...
And when I saw the news...
A really good anchor, actually. Happened to be Fox, but I watched it, and they said, something unusual is happening. There are 8 boats.
He says something unusual has happened.
8 ships are going right up the middle of the Hormuz Strait.
They've crossed the Strait of Hormuz.
8 big tankers are going loaded.
8 oil tankers have transited the Strait of Hormuz.
Up with oil right through. And I said,
on the news, they were surprised that 8 ships passed through the Strait of Hormuz.
I guess they were right.
He says, I think they were right. They gave us 8 oil tankers.
They were real, and I think they were Pakistani flagged.
He says, I think they were flying the flag of Pakistan.
And I said, well, I guess dealing with the right people.
He says, well, I think we're negotiating with the right people. Oh my, he says, really?
And then they apologized for something they said.
And they've apologized for what they said.
He said, we're going to send 2 more boats.
He says, we'll send you 2 more. To apologize for something we've said, we're going to send you 2 more. 10.
And it ended up being 10 boats.
And we've ended up with 10 oil tankers.
I haven't bored you with the negotiations, but I thought it was appropriate to say it because he says...
I think it was appropriate to say it.
...did taunt you the other day. What happened?
He says, that's why I told you the other day that you were going to get a gift. Son of a bitch, son of a bitch. Now we understand why the oil sanctions against Iran were lifted the other day and why 10 oil tankers have crossed the Strait of Hormuz. Unbelievable. Unbelievable that the fanboys are here saying it and you believe it, right? Trump is gonna let 10 oil tankers go through there and let them go. Of course, of course, of course, of course. Of course, yes, great, he kept them. Besides, that's easy to know. That's very simple. If you just look at where the ones who have passed are going, you'll know. Of course, you see, now things are starting to make sense, he says. I lift the sanctions for a month, he sends me the 10 oil tankers, I have oil, I'm negotiating with the right people. Does this mean this? Does this mean that there's a part of the regime that controls certain things and that he's negotiating with the part that controls the oil? Will there be another part that controls the Revolutionary Guard, others that control the army, others that control who knows what? Is power very divided within Iran? But Trump is controlling things with those who make money? He's negotiating with those who make money, the same ones who say they're afraid of being killed. This is getting interesting. Now let's see all the ones they've put up these days. Yes, the oil tankers passing through there have to pay, they have to hand over $2 million paid in yuan, or whatever the hell you want to call it, in Chinese currency. Let's see how they explain 10 oil tankers are leaving to the United States. Let's see how they explain it. Did they give away 10 oil tankers? It's nonsense since he also called them big. I mean, we could say that each oil tanker has more or less 2,500,000 barrels. Cada petrolero. We're talking about 25 million barrels. Price of 25 million barrels of oil. How much money are we talking about? Well, the price of a barrel is at $99. More or less. Well, let's see how it is today. No, it's at 108. 108. And in $2.7 billion, thank you. $2.7 billion. They were saying the other day that the first weeks of the war were costing around $4,000, $4 billion, $4 to $5 billion. I mean, that's half a campaign paid for with 10 oil tankers. With 10 oil tankers, half a campaign paid for. Because of that, that's why the big bird was so happy. That's why the big bird was so happy.
Regarding Iran, with the right people regarding.
That's why he was happy. 2.7 billion to 2.7 billion. Is he a businessman?
The guy.
It's crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Honestly, thanks. What can I say? We'll see if this is true. If it is, I doubt he'll admit it. He wouldn't let something like that slip by just saying it. He's not going to let it slip. I know they're going to say this is a lie, that they'll deny it by all means. It doesn't matter, and it will be proven. We know. No. In exchange for whom? Not in exchange for anything. In exchange for negotiating. No, the oil tankers are to prove to Trump that he's the one in control. Because, of course, you can call any guy and say, look, I have control of the country. Now others call, claiming control of the country. 50 people call. Through the CIA. Look, we have control of the country. And he says, well, let's see who it is. Come on, prove to me that you control the country. Well, I can send you, I don't know, the naval commander's whereabouts. All right, noted. Look, I can give you access to the bank accounts. Noted. And someone comes and says, look, I can give you 10 tankers that I have parked there on Car Island. There are missiles coming to Car Island. I have 10 tankers, 8. And we're going to apologize with 2 more so you can see we're serious, that you're talking to the person who handles the oil. Just the first one, okay? All right, let's see where we're going. With this pre-alert, let's check it out. We're under attack, family. Let's check the pre-alert. There are drones. Drones, right now in the Stula area.
Let's keep watching POTUS, since he's still speaking. POTUS is still speaking. Let's watch it.
Yeah, you're talking about a deadline for doing some pretty...
And they're talking about a red line right now?
You're talking about a date to do some damage, even more than we've had before.
He says, you're discussing a red line to cause greater damage than before.
We've done.
Let's see, look, we have very substantial...
He says, let's see. He says, look, we have very substantial conversations going on right now with respected people.
Iran with the right people.
With the right people.
You know, I told you about President Xi.
There are conversations happening, right? This was before the thing with the 10 oil tankers. Well, it's interesting, quite interesting. No doubt about it, no doubt about it. So, well, let's take a look at it and see what happens. Family, thank you very much. That's it for this first episode. We'll see you in the next one here on Estrategias Militares. Have a good afternoon. See you later. Greetings, friends. Subscribe if you enjoy the content. It's your channel.